Alright, y'all, welcome back for another video, man. And I know I haven't been uploading like in a fat minute. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, Marathon has been just taking so much of my time. I am addicted to this fucking game. I think I'll be streaming it in the weekends now, just so at least we can talk about like, comics or something like that, while I'm streaming. So come by this weekend and, we'll chat about comics or, Daredevil Born Again Season 2. But man, Born Again Season 2, a lot of people have already like watched the full fucking season. Unfortunately, I'm not one of those people, but I will be. No, I'm playing. I mean, I wish I was, selected. The early reviews of it, a lot of people are saying they really like it, and it finally feels true to the the Netflix version of Daredevil, because the whole thing about Born Again Season 1 was that, they had to switch up some things at the last fucking minute. They had to implement, Foggy and Karen. Originally they weren't going to be in the series at all. And I believe they were going to off-screen, Foggy's death, which, that was fucking stupid. And like I said, there was just a whole bunch of stuff that happened at last minute, and that's why Born Again Season 1, like, there's been mixed reviews about it. But it seems now with the whole, embargo lifted, social media people have seen the whole series of, Season 2, and they're saying that, we are back, pretty much. But there's one thing that I keep, people, I keep, saying, that it's the first 2 episodes are really slow. Dude, for me, personally, I think the first episode wasn't slow at all. Yeah, you had some, I guess kind of slow moments, with Cherry and, Matt's partner. Oh my god, I forgot her name, but, where Matt used to work, there was that moment that was pretty slow. But other than that, man, it wasn't really that bad. And dude, this whole season, like, not this whole season, this whole first episode was so damn good. Like, I didn't expect, like, dude, I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like Matt or, Daredevil, like, that dude is starting to kind of slowly lose it. Like, he's starting to get a bit more fucking, I guess, violent. And I like, look, and dude, I don't know if I'm tripping, but like, I'm like, they're definitely foreshadowing him being like way too violent. And the reason why I say that is because, in the first, scene of Daredevil or of him, he's in the boat, and this dude knocks down a person, and you can see the shadow of him, like, just continually beating some fucking dude's ass, bro. And I know last season, like, this dude fucking jumped on a dude's legs and, fucking broke his both of his fucking legs. But dude, I swear to God, dude, I feel like in the Netflix series, he was violent, but he wasn't as violent as he is now. Like I'm calling it right now. This dude is going to get super violent as further we get into the season, because not only that, in one of the scenes in this episode, he was showing Karen how to, like, maneuver, like, basically martial arts, type of movement or technique, and it was slowly getting carried away to the point where I feel like he was gonna fucking knock the fuck out of Karen. Karen was like, yo, chill, like, yo, you're getting a bit too carried away, and he was like, oh shit, like, my bad, like sorry for that. So I'm predicting that he's gonna get super violent as the season goes on, and maybe he takes over the hand, because I believe in the Shadowland comic arc, he takes over the hand and he becomes way more violent than he usually is. So I'm just throwing that prediction out. But dude, not only that, man, I'm gonna fuck what people say, bro. Some people are gonna call this series woke, but like, yo, like, deadass, this shit seems like too familiar. Like, it really seems too familiar. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Which I like that, dude. I like that. Like, this season can be an allegory for for what's going on with the world, or some parts of what's going on in the world, or mostly in America. I mean, some people are gonna call me like, oh, dude, you're bringing politics into this. It's like, I don't know, dude. Like, I'm not, I'm not a woke person, bro. To be honest, I'm not really that political, but but there is some shit that's going on in this fucking season right now that seems a bit too familiar, if you know what I mean. And I'm glad that they're going full steam ahead on that shit, bro. I am glad that the writers are really diving into that. But yeah, man, this first episode, really a banger. Dude, the Daredevil scenes are fucking fire, especially towards the end, dude. Oh my god, with the whole Bullseye teaser, with, like, the cops finding out that Matt Murdock is Daredevil, and then Bullseye just fucking blows just blows their fucking heads off. Well, he doesn't blow their heads off, but he fucking kills everybody. And then, you know, he throws a fucking knife, and the knife lands in front of fucking Matt saying, "You're welcome," with a little target sign or like a little bullseye sign. Bro, that was aura farming, bro. This dude is fucking fire, bro. I can tell that this dude is going to be like the highlight of the season. Hopefully he's the highlight of the season. Hopefully I'm not fucking wrong, and then they don't do nothing with him, you know. But hopefully this dude is fucking even crazier, and you know, as the season goes on. And I did not expect that, dude. I really thought that, you know, Cherry was, I believe that's his name, the old retired cop. I thought that Cherry, like you know, as a, you know, last thing before he dies of a heart attack, you know, I thought he was gonna grab a gun and then shoot everybody in the head, and then, you know, just dies afterwards. I thought that's how it was gonna go down, but I did not expect Bullseye to fucking, you know, aura farm like that, dude. Not only is that the craziest thing, but also Daredevil's old girlfriend, that it was I believe that therapist or whatever. She's starting to, like, I don't know, she's like hallucinating or, you know, PTSD or whatever. But you know, she's starting to see Muse, and a lot of people are predicting that she's going to be the new Muse or gonna take over the whole Muse persona shit. Which honestly, I do see that, you know, being the case, because there's a line in the episode where she's pretty much interrogating one of the vigilantes. I believe it's like Swordmaster or whatever. She tells Swordmaster this, you know, true and false question, and one of the question was, do you feel like a evil spirit is possessing you? And Swordmaster says false. And then the whole trial for Swordmaster, she changes it because she tried to like lock this dude up and never make him see the light of day. But before she changes the answer to true, she's again hit with this like hallucination of Muse. That's basically telling us that she's getting possessed by fucking like an evil spirit or whatever the fuck, you know, Muse is doing to her. I'm assuming it's PTSD maybe, but you know, with Daredevil not being within the MCU, and you know, the MCU, you know, having all these, you know, fantastical elements now, they could import those fantastical elements into this series now. So I wouldn't doubt it if, you know, Muse somehow, I don't know, his fucking evil spirit or whatever his evil soul is within her, or I don't know, something like that, man. I don't know how that's gonna work. You know, I didn't read the comic where there's like a female Muse, so I don't know how that's all gonna go down, but I'm pretty sure she could be the next Muse. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, y'all. I mean, dude, I don't know how people said like, oh yeah, the first 2 episodes are so slow, but episode 3 really kicks off like the whole fucking series, and you know, it's really going to tell you how the season is going to be overall. Like, dude, episode 1, yeah, like I said, there are some like kind of slow moments, but like, dude, it is fire, bro. It is definitely a step up with what we had last season. I just hope that, like, you know, I just hope that what people are saying is true, man. That like, that once the episode 3 comes out, that's where it's gonna be like, you know, full steam ahead, man. But yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. What are you guys' thoughts on episode 1 so far? Do you guys liked it? And what are your predictions on, you know, Matt's old girlfriend being Muse? And, you know, what are your predictions overall for the season? And yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I'll let you guys go, and yeah.